Right, so basically, I've fucked it. The camera on me got corrupted, so there's no footage of me for this video. It's all going to be on Loz. Audio might seem a bit frazzy, but we all make mistakes. I'm fucking still learning. Not ideal, but yeah, I apologise. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed my chat with Loz. But yeah, enjoy the video. Well, cheers. I would have you've got a glass of water. I would have a zoot with you, but I've now not had a zoot in over 2 weeks. Yeah,
Swear down?
Yeah.
Because of the fighting?
Well, not even that, bro. Like, I've been smoking like basically every day for the last 3 years, and it was just getting to a point where I was just getting like you know when you can feel it in your chest. And I was speaking to Tom about it yesterday. I was fronting, basically trying to pretend that like it wasn't happening to me, and I kept on smoking to try and make it go away. And I was like, you know what? Maybe a little break is a bit overdue, but I'll definitely get back to it.
Do you think that you use bud as like a clutch?
Yeah.
And now the clutch isn't there, and now you're like, yes.
Well, do you know what it is? I feel like bud's just a good escape for me, like especially the last 3 years. Like I've gone through so much. It's like a bit of a safety blanket sometimes. Like
I'm saying that because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like I started off with smoking bud because everyone around me does, and you know what I mean. It's just the thing, you know what I mean. But as I've got older, 100%, it's my like clutch.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you last night, I got bad news. I was smoking like a chimney bud.
Yeah, it helps. My dad's my dad's 56 and he still smokes like every day. Like, he's got a stressful job, and he literally says that if he don't have like a little smoke in the morning, like his days just fucking just different. Like I feel like I can still function. It wasn't a case of like I was having to stop because I weren't getting shit done.
Yeah.
I feel like I always say this to a lot of my friends. Like I don't know about you, but I love training when I'm stoned.
Same.
It's an unbelievable feeling. Like you just feel so much more connected with things. It's weird.
Same.
And I feel like the MMA community, like jiu-jitsu as well, like loads of people smoke bud. So it wasn't a case of like me not being productive. It was just.
I feel like low key in the Thai boxing scene, I'm a dark horse. You know, I'm a trendsetter, especially in my gym. Cause my teacher, my trainer, the main trainer. There's 3 trainers.
Yeah.
John Pop, Maria, and Simon. Simon and Maria are sisters. John Pop's married to Maria. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a family-run kind of gym. But John Pot's the main.
What's the gym? The name of the gym?
Kiat Pontit Gym. Let me say that slow. Kiat Pontit Gym for everyone that is listening. And yeah, he's the man. Like he's proper Thai. Them kind of guys that's been fighting since I was like,
It's so mad, like in Thailand, like it's a lifestyle. Like, they literally are pro fighters at like 12. It's crazy, mate. It's actually crazy.
Like here in the UK, everyone wants to be for like example a footballer. Over there, everyone wants to be a Thai boxer. Like that's the go-to. You know what I mean? And that's what's in Thailand. It pays well, but this is what I was saying to you before. Why I'm not too bothered about fighting.
At the moment, especially like in the amateur rings, and like there's nothing to go on. Like amateur boxing cards, or amateur MMA fights, or amateur, even pro fights as well. Like they rely heavily on like crowds and fucking. And with all that taken away, there's not that much money to give out on purses, and because. Like I said, they're all like even the gyms. Like a lot of gyms, even though I feel like there's a lot of quality gyms. It costs a lot to run a gym. You got all the expenses for bills and that. You got all the trainers and there's a lot. And when you take all that away and gyms are closed and there's no one actually training, there's no money coming in.
And you still need to pay the bills out.
When did you go to Thailand for the first time? And what made you go to Thailand?
Yeah, cool. For everyone that don't know, I'm a Thai boxer. I've been Thai boxing now for about 9-10 years. I started when I was about 18, 19. I'm 29 now. I went Thailand. I've only been one time, but I went Thailand when I was about 22, 23. It's just one of them ones where, like, if you're into Thai boxing and you're a fighter, you have to go to Thailand.
It's the place. It's the next place I'm going to go for sure.
Yeah, but it's not if, it's when. Like, everyone goes. You see all them people, them tattoos on the back and that. Yeah, man, yeah. So I went for about 6 months. because John Pot's been telling me for ages, you're good, but trust me, go Thailand, and you see what I mean, because like, he'll always send me like fights and stuff, you know, like Mike Tyson and his trainer, they'll stay together watching fights and that. He'll send me links, yeah, watch this, see how he kicks, see how he blocks. You've got to do
Sanchez, one of the greatest of all time.
Sanchez, like the Floyd Mayweather of Thai boxing, you know what I'm saying? He's the best. In this day and age, no one can.
And you've got the Rod Tangs as well. Rod Tang's fighting in April. He's fighting in a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. So when I went to Thailand, I was about 22, 23, went for about 6 months. I had one fight over there, beat him. It was a mad fight. Over there, in that league, they told me backstage, you get an extra 100 baht, like pound, whatever, their money.
For a finish.
For every stitch you give them.
Yeah.
So everyone was having crazy elbow fights and knee fights and stuff like that, and obviously I'm tall, innit? So
you can use that reach.
Me, I'm elbowing him, I cut him like there, but he wanted deep one. I got about extra like 400 baht.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, man, I spent that on the strip, went out. Hey!
Mate, it's so mad. I was watching Liam Harrison's podcast with James English, and he was talking about how I didn't realise, like, in Thai boxing fights, there's longer time in between rounds to give the betting people in the rings enough time to put bets on. So instead of like in actual boxing, go on, tell me.
It's 5 rounds, yeah, and the first 2 rounds don't really matter. It's the last 3. So the first one, if you used to go on YouTube now and just type in just a Thai boxing fight, you'd be thinking, what's going on? I'm not even doing anything. We're just literally just going slow, just tapping each other in the first round, blocking all slow and that. But people, you know, in the crowd, I bet he's gonna whatever, and bit by bit to come out and do more. The later
rounds definitely more.
And the last 3, especially really the last 2 rounds, but last 3 matter. Yeah. So you see people like turn up on the 3rd.
How many fights have you had then in total?
I've had about 20 something, mid-20s, early 20s.
And only one in Thailand, so the rest been in the UK.
Oh no, I've had fights. I had that one in Thailand. I've had one like near France, like Jersey. Yeah. Jersey sides.
Shout out Reese. Reese is from Jersey, my mate Reese.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Shout out Reese. Yeah. Jersey. A few places, well, mainly in the UK, but I have travelled as well with it. So,
what's your best moment from your fighting career? What sticks out most?
You know what's mad? It's not even the actual fight.
Training.
It's the
yeah. Mate, honestly, the training is like,
I'm telling you.
It's so mad because like there's such a difference between, like, there are so many killers in the gym, so many unbelievable elite fighters in the gym, but it's making that difference between how good are you in the gym, how good are you in sparring, and then turning it on when the big lights are on in front of the crowd. It's completely different.
The whole element between just fighting is crazy. I've been into it since primary school. Before Thai boxing, I was doing karate as a little kid, then did a little boxing, then, you know what I'm saying? So I hear what you mean, because when I'm fighting in Thai boxing, you're in different. Well, in Thailand, you're both in the same changing rooms. So I say I'm fighting you, we're like in this room now.
You're warming up next to each other.
Yeah. But here it's not like that so much. So I'll be in one room and you be in the other. And there was one time, there's one guy, Joe. It's crazy because he's in a nut house now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went mad. And people say them kind of people have power in it. I was fighting him and he had power.
Different type of mentality.
Crazy, you're militant. But I'm in the next room, it's kicking the pads. I can literally feel the walls shaking. I'm thinking I'm fighting him.
So who was it?
It was
Tyson against Spinks. I think it was against Spinks when Tyson was warming up and he got pissed off because there was a delay and he punched the wall so hard that Spinks heard it from the next dressing room and he shot it before he went out.
It was similar to that. I was thinking, fuck, I'm fighting him, and then like I got a little. I sparred with him before. I know who he is. You know what I mean? I know he's good, so I know it's gonna be, you know, like someone's gonna get knocked out or something. It's one of them kind of fights. So I'm thinking, wow, okay, I'm seeing him on the pads. I can hear the wall shaking and that. I got in the ring and I styled him.
Do you know what it is? It's those first couple seconds when you're making the ring. I've only fought once, so I'm not even chatting from a lot of experience, but from my experience it was just like the feeling out process of going in.
Yeah.
Everything's sort of kicking in if anyone says, any fighter says they don't shit themselves a little bit before they're going out, they're lying.
They're like cost.
You can't, of course, you got to shoot yourself as a fighter. At the end of the day, you got all your mates coming to watch you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure, but it's like Darren Till, especially. He said when he fought Gastelum, he said that first round was fucking awful for him because there was so much pressure under him. Like he was finding excuses as well, and finding excuses just to fucking not go out of it, but finding excuses just to lay back on in the future. So if it didn't go well, he could fucking like, oh yeah, well it was because of this reason. But it's those first couple of minutes that really make a difference, and that's why a lot of people, like you see, that's like a fast start. Because if you're not prepared, that feeling out process isn't going to be that nice because you're never going to get going.
For example, Liam, shout out to Liam as well. He's a good guy and a good fighter, and he's from Leeds as well. So I've got to big him up. But you see Liam, he's a fast starter.
Liam Harrison.
Yeah.
He's a beast. Liam Harrison is a fucking beast, mate.
He's got big hooks, big low kicks, and he goes forward. You see how most Thai people are like on the toes. He's not on his toes.
He goes straight in it. When he fought in one championship last, he got a first round knockout. It was like the first couple
and he
minutes.
just goes for it, and you know what I'm saying. He's
the great. I think he's the greatest European Thai boxer.
Maybe he's definitely the best in the UK.
Definitely best in the UK.
Yeah, definitely best in the UK. He's been number one for his weight category for. I can't tell you how long years, bro. Before I even started Thai boxing.
It's just that whole Bad Company gym is just unbelievable. You got Andy as well.
People from his gym. So it's one of them ones, isn't it? He used to bet against me, and he lost every time. Bless him. Shout out Liam, man.
It's an unbelievable world. It's so different to MMA as well. Like MMA is obviously the full sport, but I never really, until the first lockdown that happened last year, I never really appreciated Thai boxing for like the sport that it actually was. But wow,
that's what's good about MMA. It's brought Thai boxing more to the forefront.
Yeah, more eyes on the sport.
Yeah. Because everyone who I know who does MMA or whatever cage fighting, they tell me the best stand up is Thai boxing. So,
I love training like Thai boxing. Like the conditioning you do is so brutal, so tough, but fuck me, like when you're feeling it and you come out of the session, you finish the gym session, like wow, it's literally like a high. Like it genuinely is a high, and it's so mad. Like a lot of people that don't really like understand fighting or they don't really like fighting, their common things are like, it does not hurt you, or do you not get afraid? But it's a completely different, like you're just in a completely different headspace. Like
it goes back to what you were saying, mindset when you're fighting. And you know what's crazy about fighting? Play fighting is one thing.
Well, that's kind of how they spar in Thailand as well. That's kind of why they can go on for so long, because they're sparring when they're training. It's very light.
Play fighting's one thing. Fighting in the street is one thing. Sparring hard in the gym is one thing. And fighting in the ring when everyone's watching you is one thing. And each thing feels different. And it's a different mentality for like each one.
Did you ever do any specific like mindset training before any fights?
Nah.
How would you prepare yourself for a fight mentally?
I grew up fighting, so I'm used to it. So I'll go down to the gym and jump up. We'll say, oh, there's a guy there. If you want to fight him, I'll say, yeah, who is he? We'll say his name. I don't even know why I asked, but I never know who it is anyway. I just asked us to ask. But yeah, who is it? Such and such. I get them Polish man, them big man. I get them, them, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the one that no one wants to fight.
Yeah. I always fight. But since primary school, I've just been like a physical person. Just like...
So it's like second nature to you?
Yeah. Like, you know how there's people in the gym that can be in the gym for like 5-6 years, and there's people that can come in a few weeks and look better than that guy that's been there for years. I was there for like maybe a year, then jump up with like, you've got to fight, do you want to fight? And in my head, I'm thinking, nah, I didn't go down there to fight, I went down there just to learn some self-defense. I just came out of jail at the time, 19, fresh home, everyone's telling me, yo, forget boxing, Thai boxing, and round my mum's just happened to be John Pop's gym, so it just made sense to go to that one, innit?
It's so mad. Sorry to interrupt you, but like it's so mad. Like physical training, like exercise, whether that be boxing or Thai boxing or fighting in general, even jiu-jitsu is. I think it's so important for like learn discipline in life, and people don't realize it. Like, especially like with so many youth centers being closed and that, like it's an escape for so many people to get away from stuff. And like I said, learn self-defense, and people don't realize the importance that mixed martial arts can have on someone. Like, for so many different reasons, there are so many benefits to it. You actually learn so many life lessons. And
you know, I might be saying his name wrong, so sorry if I am, but you know David Goggins?
Yeah, mate, David Goggins is a fucking machine.
He's a prime example of that. Like, you see, when he trains from like a dark place, kind of. When I fight, I'm fighting from a dark place, and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do to them, not what they're gonna do to me. So I still feel the butterflies and shit. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I could get knocked out. I'm in a fight. It's peak, you know. But at the same time, because I've done it so many times, it's just like it eventually just comes like just another day in this kind of thing. You're literally just going to work.
Well, that's the best kind of attitude to have, especially like when you're in a fight. When you are a fighter, you can't really let other negative thoughts cloud your head. You can't really be thinking or focusing on what they're going to be doing to you. You can only, if you're doing that, then obviously you're going to get, your judgment's going to get clouded, and you're not going to be focusing on the right sort of things.
One time I had a fight in Harrogate. I forgot his name. I want to say Jake Summit. Good fighter as well. I've seen him fight before me fighting him. And John Pop was saying, yeah, he's up there, you should fight him, you know, in due time. This is the thing, I always used to fight people that have more fights than me. So if I had, like, for example, 5 fights, I'm fighting someone that's had 10 fights, 12 fights. So he's saying in due time, trust me. So anyway, now I'm fighting this guy now. And from the stare down, I knew I won him.
Yeah.
I knocked him out in the first round. But I don't even think it was the power or anything. I
mentally
like,
beating him,
I felt like he just didn't want to get up. He could get up. Even after the 10,
he just didn't want to.
He was still down for ages, to the point I had to go over and say, yo, you alright? You good? It's mad, but it's mindset though. I was looking through him.
Mindset sets you apart from a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Like, his eyes was all over the place, and I was just piercing, looking through him, and I just knew I had him.
No better feeling, even though I've still never had a knockout. So you know though, even like in sparring, I feel like you know when you get the better of someone. Like when you're like you know when you're doing rounds, but like, oh, I could do some more. Do you want to do any more? But like, oh, nah, I'm alright. You know, I'll do some pads. Or
shout out to my guy Jersey. Me and Jay-Z have had some crazy wars, man. Like, he's the same weight as me, but his style's more K1. Stand and bang, kick and bang, low kick, boom, 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 low kick, 1, 2, 3, hook, low kick. I'm more Thai boxing, innit? So I'll kick to his body and teep him away and, you know, stuff like that. I want to clinch him up, and he's not really a clincher, so push me away and boom, 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 boom. We've had some wars, man. It's crazy that none of us have been dropped from that, because he's hit me, and you know, your eyes roll back and white flashes, and you try to catch yourself before you buckle. But shout out to Jersey, because we've had some good ones. Well, yeah, man.
So I want to get involved. Obviously, it's great that you've got a.
You've got to come down to the gym.
Yeah, I know, man. We need to train together as well, man.
Yeah. I know you shot at me bad times.
But you know what it is? I feel like we always catch each other at bad times. Because I feel like you've tried to shout at me before as well, and I've not been able to get to it. But that's the one thing that I love about fighting as well. There's so many different styles. Like, no matter who you train with, everyone's always going to have a different style, and it's good to mix around with people that's not got the same style as you, because at the end of the day, you're going to end up fighting people that aren't the same style as you, so you've got to be putting yourself in uncomfortable positions that you're not used to.
So check this about styles then, just to go off what you're saying, yeah? What's even more mad about styles? Let's just say, for example, something basic like boxing, it's just hands, yeah? There's styles within that.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's just boxing. So when you're mixing it up with MMA, there's everything.
So many. That's the beauty of it though.
And everyone's got their own little different niche, and people specialise more in grappling and more in striking, and bro.
It's a mad one.
Bro, it's mad. When you think about it, it's actually like, to fathom that, bro, it's...
I think how many different fighters there are like, especially with the way MMA's grown, like I feel like there are so many more fighters, like maybe it's because I've only really been in the sport for maybe like the last 5-6 years, but I feel in those 5-6 years that I've been training and been watching the sport, like I just feel like it's exploded. There are so many people that train now. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And it's just going to get bigger and
of course,
bigger,
yeah, it's literally going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the UFC, do you reckon the UFC will take over boxing one day?
Well, I feel like it is already.
I think it's almost. I don't know if it is there, like especially in the UK. I don't think.
You see, when like there's like so like now it's on every Saturday, isn't it?
Well, not on this Saturday, but basically every Saturday, yeah.
So there was one time, much like for last Saturday, the one before that, there was boxing on. Then after that,
UFC.
Yeah. The people around me, all UK people, they were looking forward to the UFC more than the boxing.
Yeah, I think there was Dillian White fighting against Povetkin, and then it was the same night with Stipe and Ngannou.
They just watched the main event, Dylan.
That's the thing. I only watched the main event. I think it also is because.
But actual event of boxing, like the card.
No one really watches it now. Nah. But I feel like because boxing is such a mess with so many different organisations and so many different promoters, it's hard to follow different boxing. Like for me at least, I think it's hard to follow boxing. I feel like with the UFC, because it's a promotion, they promote every fighter so well. And they've got so much content, they've got so much that you can delve into that the more you watch it, the easier it is to get along with it. Yeah. But I think the only reason why I say at the moment I don't think it's bigger, I think maybe in America it's probably bigger, but I think the only reason why it's not bigger in the UK at the moment is because there's only maybe 1 or 2 cards a year that's on like, you know, like if there's a boxing event, the main card, well the prelims will start at like 7 p.m. and the event will finish with the main card like 11:30 p.m. At the moment, there's only 2 cards really a year that the UFC do that caters to the UK audience. So most of them, the prelims are starting at 12, 1 a.m. and then they finish at 5, 6 a.m. So for casual people, it's hard to follow UFC if it's on at such a late time.
UK people are staying up.
Mate, I've been
them American
dedication.
They're not coming over here, but we tuned in. We're locked in.
I think eventually it definitely will take over.
Yeah,
it's definitely almost there.
Yeah. So go off what you were saying as well. That's the problem with Thai boxing. There's too many different organisations and leagues and stuff. There's not just one. So there's so many world champions. Like anyone can be a world champion. There's not one everywhere.
Unified.
You gotta beat that one guy, and then you're just the.
See, that's the thing. I love watching Thai boxing, but I only know a handful of fighters.
See what I'm saying? And in each league there'll be the stars. But who's the real stars?
Who's the real star? Oh yeah.
Period. Like who's, you know what I'm saying?
I think what ONE FC do is really, really cool though, because they're such a unique organisation that they'll have a fight card, but they'll literally have different types of fight. They'll have K1, they'll have Thai boxing, they'll have MMA, all on the same card, and it's a good angle. No one else is really doing that. Yeah. But again, that's in Asia, so the fight times again they're all crazy times. So it's hard. I think in Asia it's really, really big, but. Before it's going to get but before it gets big in the UK, it needs to be more catered towards like UK times and that. But enough talking about fighting. It's a good introduction. But I want to speak to you about your music career.
Yeah, let's go for it, man.
So Crusing Smoking is your latest tune.
Yeah.
Big tune. My vibe. It's got a nice vibe to it. It's nice and relaxing. But what are your inspirations for music? How did you get into music? Like when did you realise you wanted to get into music and what were the turning points?
You know what's crazy? You know when you're young and you know what your talents are, but you just ignore it. I always thought I'd be a footballer. I was sick at football, one of the best in my block, innit? Best in the street, innit? But, for example, when it comes to like school music, I'll be sick.
Yeah.
But like everyone will say, oh yeah, you got rhythm, you got like for example, let's say like it's like primary school and we're doing the drums. I'll be the first one to find that.
Find the beat match.
You know what I'm saying? Just small little things like that. My brother, I got brothers and sisters. One of my brothers that I grew up with, I just listened to whatever he listened to, and he just happened to listen to rap. So Wu-Tang Clan and you know all that kind of shit back in the days. And I grew up with my cousins. Shout out to Chanel. Shout out to Paul. yeah. Shout out to Anthony. You know what I'm saying? And they was just like, same as my brother Jace was playing that kind of like thing, garage, hip hop. So I just got my kind of music thing from them. And
it rubbed off onto you.
Rubbed off me. Then when I was doing my own thing, it was like back when grime was grime. High school days when grime was like Crazy Titch, Dizzy Vasco. You know what I'm saying? Grime was grime. So from there, like, it was one of the ones where everyone had to have a little lyric in it. You go to a house party, everyone had to have a little tuba, even if you didn't do music in it. And it just started from that, and then I just started taking it more serious, more serious. I didn't even think at the start I was that good.
How old are you? How old are you when you were thinking all this?
14, 15, high school times, innit? 14, 15, I was thinking all this. And I just proper left it alone. I was doing more research into like the business side of music around them times as well. Oh no, I missed out a bit. I went to a music college in York.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of my high school. Went to a bad school. In that bad school, I learned how to like DJ and stuff. They had a microphone, old school days, 1s and 2s, you know them ones there. Doing all of that. Then after that, went to college, a music college. And then from there, I was just like focusing on like the business side of it in the college, innit? And the more I was focusing on like music and what it is, the more it just put me off. I'm thinking, it's all smokes and mirrors.
Yeah.
It's not what it is. So like, you're saying to me now, you're a rapper, innit? But I'm saying, I'm nodding like, yeah, but I'm not actually a rapper.
Do you know? Would you not classify yourself as a rapper now?
Nah.
Musician? Would you not?
I'm just someone who happens to make words rhyme, bro. I just talk and I spill my heart out on a beat and it just rhymes, innit?
So what does music mean to you?
Music is therapy to me, bro, because I've had a dark life, innit? I come from a mad background and it's just my way of just like escapism, and that's all what it is for me, innit? But people like what I'm saying, so I'm just running with it. Because to me, when I see these rappers, yo, homie, yo, look at my chain, bling, bling, fuck with me, I'll kill you. It's not really me, that's never been me, and I'm not trying to portray that as well. It's all smokes and mirrors. There's people out there now doing drill, fuck with me, and people are listening to that because it sells. But there's people actually in the street doing that, and that's like their like soundtrack, you know what I mean? Well,
I spoke to Z about it, and I'd be interested to hear your opinion. What do you think to drill with, like say with people that, with like you got Digger D.
For everyone.
Well, it's not for that, but you got like Digger D, for example, who was like in prison for a lot of his youth time, and he's come out and he fucking raps about doing all this sort of stuff. And obviously, I don't discredit that there are probably drill rappers out there that are speaking about what their life is like and going through what it is, but because we know that there are people that are out there that are spitting bars just because they know it sells. Like, what damage do you think that does to, like I said, on the streets? Because you've got all these kids that are listening to and thinking they're bad, listening to these guys that are rapping about a life they don't even actually live.
Rappers always say that they don't. Rappers always say that it's not their fault and they shouldn't take responsibility. It's just music, innit? But music is like the key to emotions. You can listen to a song and feel angry. Listen to another song and feel happy. Listen to another song and want to text your girl because now you want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? It taps into certain emotions, innit? Whether you like it or not. It's the same thing with like movies. It's imagery. That leaves an impression on your mind. If you see nothing but rollies all the time and you're a hustler and you're thinking, fuck, I'm like all my boys are bling blinging and I'm seeing everyone rapping and they're saying if you don't have a rollie then you're not it. Yeah, I gotta get a rollie. But really, you're breaking your back to get a rollie and it's not even that deep, bro. But you've just been fed
so many more important things to prioritise.
So many more important things that you can do with Rolex money is big money, you know, it's grand, you know, bro. You can mortgage money, you know, bro. People rather get a rollie than get a house or get, you know, real life things that, you know, are important. Yeah. Or they'll wear the rollie, wear it every day, mark it up and not see it as an investment. Now, if you want to sell it, for example, now, it's just gone down in value. But they don't even think like that. They'll bust down the rollie. Look at me, the rollie cost me 10 bags. I spent another 20 bags to bust it down just to say it's a bust down, do this in the camera. But in real life, you've just fumbled the bag big time. You can't even sell that now. Same thing with cars, you want to custom it up, but because you've done that, cars, when it comes out of the thing, it got down in value anyway. And you just customised it, you just fucking up the car, but you don't even realise. But because you want to say my rims are bigger than everyone else's, smokes and mirrors, you know what I mean? So I feel like rappers do need to take responsibility to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
People that are listening need to take things with a pinch of salt at the same time.
Not take everything for
Not
face
take
value.
everything, yeah. Because certain people say the most violent is craziest thing. It's like you're just trying to just push it. Like how extreme can you get? You know what I mean? It's like porn nowadays. How extreme can you get? You know what I mean? That's what it's about nowadays. Just how extreme can you
Extremism.
get? Yeah. And people just want to say more. But as you're giving them more, you've got to understand what you're doing. And the people that are asking for more, they need to also understand what they're asking for, if you're saying more. So it's a 50-50 kind of thing. It's a tricky one, but rappers should take responsibility.
I definitely do think there is some sort of responsibility, but at the same time, like...
What's your opinion?
Well, I think that, like you said, there is a responsibility, but at the same time, like, there are people that are genuinely living those lives, even though there are guys that are probably rapping it, not living that life. It is still the reality of the situation.
Like, for example, like Crusing Smoking, the beat, yes, Tom in the back, the beat, the actual beat, it's a hip hop.
Yeah, it's a hip hop beat.
It's a hip hop beat, but if you actually listen to the lyrics, I'm saying some shit. You know, I'm talking about my brother, I'm talking about my mum. I'm talking about streets. I'm talking about a lot of.
There's ways around it. So if you, is what you're saying, like you can still talk about the same message, but in a.
So the way I've came about it, I'm talking in a way like I'm talking in a way so it's like putting you off.
Yeah.
This life ain't no one. You know what I'm saying? My other song before Crusing and Smoking, Real Talk Not Drill Talk. The first line. Real pain in my heart coming from where I'm coming from, where do I start? You know what I mean? First of all, I never tried to act hard, I just play my position, try to see this money large. I'm just keeping it real and as honest as I can without gassing people saying this is it, because people can talk about, I just whatever, got 50 bags, 100
people like to glorify situations.
They'll talk about the jail time. Or when they're in hospital because they got stabbed themselves, or when they've been robbed and they don't want no one to know, when they try to ring around, get things back. People have robbed me saying, no. People have robbed people ringing me saying, can I get it back for them? And if I was to tell you the people that's been robbed, if you knew the stature and the reputation of them, you'd be thinking, wow, really? But it's all smokes and mirrors, bro. These people are soft, man.
What life lessons have you learned from doing music, or like, because you said you've been in jail as well? What life lessons have you learned?
From music, what I've learned is every man for himself, and if you're not coming in the game with money yourself, it's going to be hard for you to be successful, because getting signed isn't the way nowadays. Back in the days, like when I was in school, back when grime was grime, if you was to get signed, it's like wow. Like for example, Strider, when he got signed and he was doing his thing, and Dubs, I grew up on them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they were doing their thing, it's like rah, like they're signed and they come from the same like background as me. There's a rascal, wow, and more people. But now it's not that. It's not that. People like Skepta, Boy Better Know, who's independent, have changed the way. Nipsey Hussle changed the way. Brought down the game. Master P, No Limit, changed the game.
Well, I see you've got your own ILGB record, haven't you?
Yeah, ILGB, that's me and my boy 90s. We've got our own record label, and it stands for It Only Gets Better. It's more than a record label, it's a lifestyle. Like, me and him come from the trenches, and we didn't have a spoon, never mind a silver spoon. We had to find a spoon and feed ourselves. And it only gets better, innit? You know,
it does highlight, like, I've definitely noticed, even though I'm only doing my podcast and even though it's not that big, I've definitely noticed the importance of doing your own thing and being able to support yourself and not relying on other people and not relying on making it because of other people. You've got to realise your own talent as well, because there are so many people that are also out there that are there just to capitalise on other people's success, just to make a quick buck off of them.
let me talk about teamwork. Alright, boom. There's no I in team in it. Everyone says that, and it's so true. I can give you bare examples, but this is the best one that I can think of. You, let's just say for argument's sake, yeah, you make £100 a week, just for argument's sake, yeah. And you're thinking, man, this £100 a week, it's alright, but I'm better than this, I know I can get more than this, but I can only do so much just me, innit? If you was to link up with your boy who's maybe earning less than you, let's say he's earning £50 a week, you put that in the pot, how much is that? You let that start for a few months, how much is that? That's just the power of teamwork, and that's two people. So if you've got a few of you with the same mindset, with the same goal, and you're all on it, and you're all thinking positive, you're obviously going to have bumps and might argue and whatever, but you know what I'm saying?
You've all got the same focus.
You've all got the same focus in mind. It's the same as a boot camp. If you're fight training and you're all having a big fight,
everyone's going to help each other.
Going to help you get fit, and vice versa. When I'm fighting, it's the same. How do you lose, bro? You know what I'm saying? But if you're holding your own pads when you want people to hold pads for you so you can kick, when you have to tie it to a tree or something, it's just not the same.
Definitely not the same.
It's not the same. Even running, it's good to run by yourself sometimes because it's therapeutic, but there is times when you need to run with people.
Yeah, because it challenges yourself as well.
Yeah, like when I was in Thailand, I would have turned back a lot of times, but when I ran with people, they'll be like that on my back. No. You're fighting. But if they weren't there doing that, I would stop, bro.
Yeah. You need other people to push you, because like you said, in those moments where you need that push, it'll be the same thing for someone else.
Yeah.
And then you can repay the same favour.
So to bring all that back to music, if you're just doing everything yourself, if you're paying for the beats, you're paying for photo shoots, you're paying for the music videos, you're paying for studio time, you're paying for, everything.
You're gonna break your back.
You're breaking your back, bro.
How have you struggled this year with coronavirus and like having to fund for your music career and that? Have you struggled? Or has it been a struggle rather?
Nah, because I'm a hustler and I'm gonna get it regardless. Like, that's the IOGB, it only gets better. You just have to adapt. At first I thought to myself, okay, how can I financially make sure that I'm okay when we're in a pandemic, yeah, everything's changing and it probably won't be the same for a long time.
For a long time.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, what can I do? There's no shows, there's no this, as far as music goes, innit? But you can still stream.
You can still make music.
You can still make music. You can, there's still ways around things, you know what I'm saying?
And also, sorry to interrupt you, I talk about it all the time, but there's something important about taking the L sometimes and like going through struggle.
Yeah.
I talk about it a lot, and probably people, yeah.
I feel like, boy, this is crazy. I feel like when I get the platform, I'm gonna be one of them people that's gonna have like bodyguards and stuff around me because I'm a prophet and I'm saying some real life shit, some real gems in it, yeah. And when you got tunnel vision and when you're just focused and you've got a good team around you and everything's just patterned,
people don't like it. People always want to bring people down.
People, like everyone that I can think of who's a prophet's been clipped. Malcolm X, Bob Marley,
Nipsey.
Nipsey Hussle's the latest one. There's so many, like they say too much.
Especially when you speak out against like big systems and
that's what I'm all about though, bro. Like I'm a conscious rapper, if anything. I talk from a place where I've been there, done it, and I've worn a t-shirt.
You can speak from your own experience, and they can't take it away from you.
Yeah. So when I'm saying, listen, I've been there. So for example, if I'm saying to you, Listen, I've been there. I've been in the house, and that house is it's all green. You're saying green? I'm saying I've been there. It's green. Believe me, it's green. Just believe me, because I've been there. You know them ones?
Yeah. It's harsh. People, like I said, people are always going to try and bring other people down. Especially, it comes down to jealousy as well. Like even maybe not in terms of like people that you're speaking out about in the systems, people around you that maybe didn't believe in you, and now they're seeing you successful, and they get jealous that they didn't believe in you, but other people did, and you believe in yourself, and then they make it, and people can't take that because they're still stuck in their own bum life, and they can't accept that they were so focused on other people getting to where they want to be that they've forgotten about themselves.
Yeah. Bang on. Yeah. Bang on. Bang on. There's a difference between someone who's criticising you because they want you to win and someone who's just hating.
Yeah.
And people need to know what the difference is. But there is a lot of people that just don't want to see you shine, bro. For whatever reason, they're just dirt in it.
And that's fuel for more success, though. Like that's the way I see
David
it.
Goggins, bro. Like, I'm coming from a dark place. I tunnel all that in. Like, you're saying I can't make it. Cool, carry on saying it. I wanna, you know what I'm saying? I want to do another more rounds in the gym. Then, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do more music. Then I'm gonna do more whatever I'm saying. I'm gonna I'm gonna do more and smash it and everything.
Do more
I feel like
mate.
I put my mind to. I feel like I actually do. That is good about me.
I've only known you for like a year, mate, but every time I've had a conversation with you, like we've always had fucking mad deep chats, and I can see you're a smart.
From the first day.
From the first day, bro. We were chatting outside, and I know that you're a smart guy, bro. Like I know.
Same though. Same.
I appreciate that as well, but I honestly I can see it, bro. Like I know. No matter how long it takes, you're going to get to where you want to be. Because you can just tell that off of someone. Like when you get a vibe off someone, you can feel the connection.
Yeah.
From straight away, I felt it, bro.
Let me put a message out there as far as music goes to the people that are trying to do music. My advice is, before you do music, sit on about 20 grand. And you have to be able to accept that 20 grand may never come back. You might double it, you might triple it, you might make nothing, but if it's your dream, it's your dream. But you need to be in it to win it, and you need to have money to do all this. If you're thinking someone's gonna just come out of the woodworks and pattern you because you've got a talent, it don't work like that.
There are many talented people out there.
There's so many talented people. Most of the people, in my opinion, that are big, even though they're talented, they're not that talented. They're just business minded, and they know the right people open the right doors. The people that are bedroom knockers, they're cold. All they do is write bars, bro. But they don't know anything else but writing bars.
And also think of many people as well lack that self and a belief. That's also another thing. There are people out there that will have mad talent, but they'll be afraid to showcase it for whatever reason that may be. What can you talk about your upbringing? You said you've had a dark upbringing or a hard upbringing. What can you speak about?
Alright, so boom. Where do I start?
Where are you from? Like, where's your ends from?
I'm from Chapel Town, and I'm from Leeds. And Chapel Town itself is a story in itself. Before Chapel Town had a bad reputation, it had a good reputation. Jewish people used to live there. That's why if you still go down there, there's massive houses, like 6-bedroom houses and stuff like that, And then when the black people came to the UK, a lot of people migrated to Leeds. And a lot of my family just happened to, move into Chapeltown area, and it became a black area. And the more blacks came in, the more Jews went out, and it just became a black area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it was just started just become like a rough area. Started to get known for prostitution, drug dealing, shootouts.
That's where the Yorkshire Ripper started as well.
Yorkshire, yeah, like it's got that's what I'm saying. It's got a lot of history, man. Chapeltown, like he killed 2 people that lived down the road from my mum's house.
Mad.
Crazy. Like my mum's house in itself, people are being shot. In outside the back garden, outside the front garden, and outside the side of the garden. And so many fights have happened at the side as well. People have crashed the cars. I felt like there was like an earthquake and that. I've came outside and I've seen kids running, they've crashed the car. Stuff, you know what I mean? The stuff like
Crazy
that was
stuff.
growing up. It's nothing to hear, you know, there's violence and there's crime.
I was going to
You
say,
know what
like,
I'm
it's
saying?
like it's mad that you talk about how you fight from a dark place, but you literally were born in and around violence.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah. But you know what's crazy? I'm not a violent person. I'm good at it, but I'm not actually. I'm not built to be a violent man. I just know how to knock someone out if it comes down to it. But I'm not looking to knock anyone out. I don't look at I'm just let
You're
me
a
smoke
chill,
my
laid back,
bud,
soft
I'm just
spoken
chill,
guy.
You know what I'm saying? So growing up, even in primary school, people were on it. Like people were selling crack and smack from primary school, just from like, the big brothers was on it. So they just doing what the big brothers are doing in the park, doing whatever. But me, my mum is a proper religious person. My aunties are all Christians. My mum's is a Jehovah's Witness. My uncle is a Rasta, and my other uncle don't believe in nothing. So me,
So it's a big blend of loads of different things.
Yeah. So my mum has tried her hardest to keep me like on the proper straight and narrow. Like growing up for me was peak. Like Christmas, there's no Christmas tree. She's a Jehovah's Witness, innit? But birthdays, I didn't do anything. And she had 2 jobs, was trying to get by. And as she's not home, I'm just playing football in the street. So yeah, so going back to what I was saying, if you're not selling crack and smack in primary school, you're not in. So I'm not selling crack and smack, but my mum's trying to make me, you know,
Straight
and narrow. Who's selling crack and smack when you're in primary school? What the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? Saying that out loud now, it sounds so mad, but that's just how it was. Just like that. It was like, if you're not selling something, if you're not robbing, if you're not on something, then who are you? You're invisible. You know what I mean? From primary school, people just on it nicking cars. People driving to school when they're like 10. Like can't even look over the wheel and shit. Swear down, I don't want to say any names, but you know, shout out my people them, cause you shout out my people them, cause you know, man, life is crazy. People driving to high school as well, like trying to like not see the teacher, like, you know what I mean, pulling up mad. Not me, but
In the same
me.
environment.
Yeah. So where I live is like deep in Chapeltown. It's like the hot spot, like deep in. So growing up, there'll be like 20 guys on that corner, 10 man on that corner. I walk out of my garden to like come into the street. I gotta walk through like 5-7 man. It's that kind of thing, innit?
Hard.
Man with dogs and shit like that, and all them lot I try to set pace on me because they're thinking I'm invisible. I'm just a little kid, quiet kid, keeping myself to myself. I used to walk around with my t-shirt, you know, tucked in the lot, you know, all that shit, you know what I mean? Like back then, everyone's swearing and that. I'm thinking, wow, you lot are swearing. You know, stuff like that. I'm just thinking different, innit? So, bit by bit, I just got sucked in.
As it does, and that's a problem in so many communities.
Yeah.
Like it goes back to the whole closing down youth systems, like you said, like
to do.
Like, do you know it's so mad? Like if I never moved to Leeds and met people that come from those backgrounds, like Z as well, like people are so like, I feel like it's a public narrative because they don't like in mainstream news they don't want you to fucking believe there's problems, but like when you actually meet people that have been in those situations, like you actually realise the gratitude of the actual problems that the country has, and people can't fathom that they actually have those problems because either they can't, for whatever narrow-minded reason, they can't believe it or they can't see it, or simply because they've not met people from those backgrounds.
Across the road from my house was a club called Phoenix, and it was notorious at the time. It's not down now, but it was just a mad club. So I used to look outside my living room window, what looks out into the back street, but the back street's a main street where Phoenix was on, and you just see everything in the street. You know how here, when it's mad, everyone's in the street, everyone's in the garden doing whatever, but it's not just chilling. Over there, people are fighting, you won't come outside then. And me and my brother just that's our kind of entertainment kind of.
Yeah.
But when you look back on it, that's kind of mad. You don't want to,
it's mad. In the situation, that's what's normal to you.
Yeah,
but when you come out of it, you realise those situations aren't normal.
Yeah. I feel like I had it extra hard, I had it bad because I was born with a stutter. And I feel like I'm dyslexic. No one's told me that, but I just feel like I am. I get things muddled up. I can say, if you used to say to me, count to 1 to 20, in my head I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, to 20. But I'll probably say 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, 10. But I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? For example, so I just had it hard, innit? So I had to fight. It was like punch or get punched. So when I started punching and knocking people out,
that's when you get the respect.
And when you, when they're rolling with their weapons and it's all good, but when you come back with yours, I'm only joking. Then that's what I mean. All smoke and mirrors. People that you think are bad aren't even bad. You stick it on people and what, I'm joking, mate.
They freeze up.
What the freeze? I'm thinking you're freezing up you. I thought you was that guy. Everyone told me that you growing up, I saw you in the cars, I saw you with you. So that makes me think to myself, what is really a gangster? And I'll tell you what gangster is: paying your bills on time and shit like that, making sure that your fridge is always full. If your mum says, can I borrow a tenner, you give her £20 because you got it like that. That's gangster. Try to stick it on people that aren't even involved in anything or want to be involved in anything, or try to groom people to get into this kind of life and get them to work for you and all that kind of stuff. That's not gangster, man. It's all smoke and mirrors, and you're only going to end up rather in and out of jail and eventually broke in the end.
And stuck in the system.
And you look back on your life and you just wasted it all in jail. I've got friends now that are my age, yeah, and older and younger, and I've done about a year in jail in total, yeah. My friends have done easy 10+.
Crazy.
Easy.
And you get sucked in,
easy.
It's because you get sucked in that situation, it goes back to the normalising things that aren't normal. Because that's all you know.
When you're talking about, sorry boss, when you're talking about getting sucked in and stuff, where do you think the violence starts? Because, in my opinion, it's you're talking about, when Africans and black people migrated and they were all put in this one community in Chapeltown, and it's systemic racism, and it's where...
I feel like they did it in a way there was no other way to survive, in a way. So in other areas it'll be easier to get jobs
because there's
more funding, there's more things. It's just even the area, if I was to get a takeaway back in the days and they're saying, yeah, where are you, and I'm saying I'm in anywhere near there, nah, I'm not coming, because it's just known as a bad area, from the riots, from this, from that,
Yorkshire Ripper,
from Yorkshire Ripper. It's just known as a don't go there. It's changing now, but when I grew up, it was like that, innit? So it's just
they want to villainize certain people.
I feel like the government and just the hierarchy people that can control things wanted Chapeltown to be like that, and put the blacks in the position where there's no jobs, there's no nothing, and they're just dropping
It's called redlining, isn't it?
Drugs.
You brought here and then you redlined into a community that has no funding, like not even half the funding that another community has, and it's like you're all put in the same community. You don't even have a chance to make it out. It's like
my mum lives on Fancy Street, if you know where that is. Yeah, literally steps away, like 2-3 minute walk away. Yeah, is Spencer Place. So it's like a T. Fancy Street is like that on the main road, and when you get to the junction, like that's Spencer Place. Spencer Place is like a very, very known like prostitution strip. Like that was where Yorkshire Ripper used to hang around to find the prostitution, the hookers. I mean, like that was where they all hang. So for me, going to school, walking past them, and seeing the needles on the floor, and
it's a mad upbringing to have.
It's nothing. Like you see, like Leeds now, you see, I swear it's in Holbeck.
Yeah.
It's legalised now, but you see how they're all out in the street. It was like that, just out in the street. Like police will drive by. It's nothing. Like they won't even say what you're doing. They know it's no. Police won't even drive by at a certain time because they'll know they'll get shooed out. People will brick them and all that. They'll get outpowered. These are the times where there's no cameras. I mean, no walls and shit like that. The technology wasn't like that back then. You literally get shooed out. I remember one time when police tried to arrest someone, everyone in the community came out and made them unarrest the guy and tell him to go off. Crazy shit like that, like bare block stories, but that's how I grew up in it. So when I'm rapping, I don't talk like this. You're asking me, so I'm telling you, but I don't just talk like this. So when I'm rapping and I hear a beat, it just all comes out in it. So I'm just telling my side of the story, but I'm not trying to glamorize it and say, this is it. For me telling you, hopefully for me saying all these stories, people can just tell that this isn't it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Well, I think you come on here, mate, and you've talked about a lot of powerful things, a lot of powerful messages. I've enjoyed this chat.
Man, loves, man.
What do you think the future holds for you, Loz? Like maybe not in terms of like far away, but like
I'm starting to get into stocks and shares, and I feel like stocks and shares and real estate, them two things there, you can't go wrong.
Solid foundations.
Foundations.
What about music?
Music right now is something that I take seriously, but it's still a side hobby because it's not my main income. It brings in money, but not the kind of money that I'm banking on right now. So I'm putting my energy into other things like the stocks and shares, and with that money, take that out, put it into music. Because it's only me and Knight is back to back that's funding each other. You know what I mean? If he does a video, me and him will go in, and vice versa. If I do a video, he'll help if I need it. But it's just two people. You can only do so much. So I feel like with what we've done, I feel like we've got Leeds in the chokehold, and it's only getting better, man. Like I've been rapping for ages, but I've been doing music, like for example, the music videos. Recently taking it seriously, innit?
I can tell, like even though you've not got that many out, like the music videos you put in, you can tell you put in time, effort, and the production levels there. Like the Crusing Smoking music videos, fucking quality.
Have you heard my Chapter Town Baby?
Yeah, you have.
I played you that.
I'm releasing it. Yeah. When you plan on releasing that?
You know what? I'm gonna do an EP. Yeah, I'm thinking to drop an EP around maybe June, July times, and then around fall this year I'm gonna be dropping the album, and on the album, Chapter Town Baby. I just hope that the world's ready for it because it's deep, like it's heartfelt. I'm not on no play thing, you know what I'm saying? It's not no party tunes. I'm not trying to make you dance right now. I just need you to listen and just take me in. It's one of them kind of songs, innit? You gotta be playing me when you're driving, or you know what I'm saying?
I feel it, man. Loz, man, have you guys got any more questions? Loz, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully get to do this some other time as well, but mate, I've enjoyed this chat. Like I said, you've come out with some powerful messages, talked about some real shit, so I think a lot of people will be able to connect to your story, man.
Respect, man, love, man. I'm just gonna end it on this, yeah?
My G.
I'm gonna end it on this. Leeds will soon take over as far as music goes. It's been about London for so long. When I was in high school, it's kind of like embarrassing to rap because of your accent. If you're from Leeds, if you're from Manchester, if you're from Birmingham, if you're from Liverpool, if you're from, just not London, innit? No one's trying to hear you like that.
Slowly it's
But
seeping
slowly
through.
like people from Birmingham are making noise. People from Manchester are making noise. There's a few guys in Liverpool that are making noise, and each city sounds different to each other city completely, and Leeds has forever had talent. It's just a bad mind place, like people don't want to see each other shine, but it just takes that one person to shine for other people to know you can shine, to follow the blueprint, and then from there, you know what I'm saying, Leeds is going to take over. I'll leave it as that. Money man laws.
Woo! Nice one, my guy.